You don't cook? Not even for your ideal mate? All right, so this is Lauren Holliday. She is the wife of basketball player Drew Holliday. And so let's take a listen to her introducing herself as a young U.S. soccer star when she's in college, okay?
Now we made it to the kitchen. This is where my dad throws down. This is my boyfriend, Drew. He's visiting before I go to the Olympics.
There's nothing like a Midwest girl. So hospitable. And her dad really can't throw down. This is where I think I'm mostly in here. Every time I walk in here, it smells good, so.
Now you see what he likes is simple, right? Even though she's a player on the United States women's national soccer team, he still likes the fact that she's a down-to-earth, simple, traditional, somewhat simple girl, right? Or lady, right? Now I want to listen to, that's one part of it, but I also want you to listen to the kind of relationship she has with her father, okay? So take a listen here.
This is my dad, George. He is the chef of our family. The kitchen is definitely his area, and we welcome that for him. Anytime anyone needs someone to barbecue or anything, they always ask my dad.
Okay, so what we can see here, and I have to do this with the videos to avoid the issues, but with YouTube, but what you can see here is that she has a relationship with her father, but even with the relationship she has, the father is the one who cooks. And in 2022, with the dynamics evolving, whoever cooks, it's not really that big a deal if everyone's willing to cooperate, right? Now, I want you to listen to the father gush over his daughter just a little bit, okay?
Good, he's real good.
It's so cool. She's worked hard for it. We've always encouraged her and give her the opportunity, but it's all her heart that's got her there, and it's been good for our whole family.
Okay, so one thing that I think is very important in relationships is that it's very important especially for young girls, if a young girl grows up with a very strong relationship with her father, she's able to take that relationship with her father and transfer that to another man in a very healthy manner, right? And it doesn't mean you have to worship your father, because you can go one extreme or the other, where some people will bring plates for the father and everything. But I think just in the end, if you grow up as a young girl with a positive relationship with your father, that is something that is a net positive when you begin dealing with, a mate, because you understand the ins and outs of how men behave, masculine behavior. And I think that one thing that's really important to look for if you're looking at dating, doesn't matter what you're dating in America, you're dating abroad, make sure you're dealing with someone who actually had a positive relationship with their father, because that actually shows I understand that there's a way that masculinity is, and I can respect it, and I know how to deal with it. Okay. Now I want you to listen to her when she's talking about the moment when Drew was like, you know what, this is what I want for my family. Take a listen to her, because remember, if you know this story, you know that she was kind of up in the air. She was thinking, I'm playing soccer now. You're about to go to the NBA. Maybe we should just break it off here and maybe revisit this. And I want you to listen to how she explained what Drew wanted. Take a listen.
I remember when we were dating, I asked him, like, what are your goals? What are your dreams? Do you want to play in the Olympics? Do you want to be the MVP? What do you want? And he was like, I want a family.
Okay, so there it is. Drew wanted a family. That's what he wanted. And so that it was not a game for him, right? And so I wanted to establish that, because what we're dealing with in this relationship are two pro athletes, okay? So these are two pro athletes, right? And this is, she's retired now because she's already had two children. But on the left, we see Lauren, And on the right, we see, you know, a basketball player who was playing in finals 2 years ago. Okay. And so I want you to watch this. This is kind of like a cooking battle, right? So take a look at this cooking battle that they're having here. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's go back here. So this is them eating, actually. And this is the beginning of, I want you to take a listen to their cooking battle here. Take a listen.
Comfortable with it's cooking.
You can do it.
It's definitely not my thing. But,
Just make sure you season it correctly.
okay, see, there we go. You already got me right.
I love.
Okay, so we can see already that he's not good at cooking. You know what? I want to make sure you guys hear it again because he's not good at cooking. He admits it. He admits it.
You know, if there's one thing that I'm uncomfortable with, it's cooking.
You can do it.
It's definitely not my thing. But,
Just make sure you season it correctly.
Okay, see, there we go. You already got me right.
I love to cook.
I wouldn't say I love it.
He actually.
Okay, so again, right off the bat, she likes to cook. She said that. She loves to cook, right? And he's not great at cooking, so just as she had the relationship with her father where her father did the cooking, in this relationship, she's doing the cooking, okay? And there's nothing right or wrong with who's doing the cooking. That's not the issue here. What the real issue is that they found a way, a happy medium to make their relationship work. Let's take a little bit more listening, yeah?
He made me gnocchi with sausage, and that was the only meal he really ever cooked for me, and it was a one-time thing.
It was good, though.
It was very good.
Okay, so he said basically he's cooked for her one time in their duration, right? Okay. Now I want you to listen to, and you can see it here. I want to show it to you because I want you to listen to it. I want you to hear it because these are, again, two pro athletes here. Take a listen.
I don't think yours is better than mine, but I'm proud of how hard you tried.
Thank you.
We cook maybe 4 nights a week. What we put in our body is really important, especially as elite athletes. Eating sustainable foods is huge.
Especially with kids, too. We're very conscious of what we put in their bodies as well. And even like my daughter, she can tell the difference between like good meat and bad meat.
Okay, so there it is. They are health conscious from the beginning of their relationship about what they're eating, right? And the best way that they're health conscious is you have a internationally famous athlete responsible for the nutrition for the family. She's cooking 4 nights a week, right? And so I'm sure the other 3 nights, I mean, they could probably hire a personal chef, but I think you hear them say later in this video that the experience of them eating together is actually really important to them, right? Now, I said that to say this. You can see in this family, I'll let you take a look at this family. In this family, cooking dinner is very important. It's very important. It's something that they make a big to-do about. And so for this family, that matters quite a bit, okay? Now we're gonna use this to contrast against something else. And we're gonna start this with another video. And this brings us to the comments made by one Cam Newton about 4 months ago. So let's take a listen to what Cam Newton had to say about I'll let you listen yourself. Here you go.
In a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Mm-hmm. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
No, a lot of women now to kick back.
Okay, so these comments caused quite a stir, especially in black community circles, okay? And you can say what you want to say about Cam Newton. Some people like him, some people hate him. Me, I'm personally ambivalent. But what he is speaking to here is when people have preferences, if the person who's going to meet those preferences, especially for men who are higher value, they're going to get first dibs, right? And so this leads us to Kayla Nicole and Travis Kelce, right? And I'll show another picture because just to show you how how good she looks, because she's really pretty. And this is them together, right? So this is them together on a boat, and they dated for, I think, good 5 years, right? And so the thing going around with them was that he didn't spend any money on her. And in that 5 years of dating, he always went, I guess they always went Dutch. And rumors suggest that part of the reason he did this was it's kind of an insurance policy against her being with him specifically for money, okay? And so I'll show you this picture again, because I think this is probably the best. That she's stunning. But I want you to hear the tweets that she put up right after she heard Cam Newton, okay? So when Cam Newton made the tweets, right? So she said, the obsession with men being able to cook is truly comical, because it's like if your palate is so superior, date a Michelin star chef, then bozo. And she's directing it at Cam Newton. Pretty sure the average woman is capable of making edible food. How do you think she survived this far? It's not really a matter of can she cook. It's more like, does she want to cook for your hungry hippo? Okay, so this is her, I think this first of a string of tweets on Twitter, right? And so the second tweet, I despise cooking, but I can make sure a man eats. Y'all really pack it up and take that noise to your mama house, okay? So you can kind of see the attitude here with, she just doesn't have a desire to cook, right? Let me put this over here so it's not in the way. Okay, so, and then the next tweet is, that man ain't had a job in a month. He has nothing but time to be quiet and get that in the kitchen. And then the last tweet is, I don't have beef with anyone. Make sure they can say that. I don't have beef with anyone. I have beef with the idea that reduces a woman's worth to being put on a dinner plate. This narrative was publicly shared on a podcast. It's important for the two to be announced. If you all will excuse me, I'm going to go order Postmates, okay? So these were the responses she had to basically people saying, why don't you cook, right? Or in this case, it's Cam Newton saying, I want a woman that cooks, okay? And so it's very interesting seeing these tweets up against who we were talking about earlier. And I'll let you see her. I'll let you see her again so you can remember. Now, this is a woman that's cooking for her husband. She's cooking for her husband here, okay? She's cooking, and make sure you can see a picture of her, picture of them in the kitchen together. This is a woman cooking for her NBA husband. She has a husband that is in the NBA making NBA money. And he is not comfortable with cooking. She says, I got it 4 nights a week. I got it. Now, on the other side of it, we get Kayla Nicole, who is just stunning, but she almost looks on cooking with disdain. And so what happened at the end of that? That NFL boyfriend that she had for 5 years, he walked away. Now, is this some kind of video telling women that you need to cook? No, it's not saying that. That's not what this is about. What this video is saying is that if you have a man and you know that he has certain needs, and if you're willing to cater to those needs, be it cooking, be it ironing his shirts or whatever, you're going to have first dibs on getting that guy, especially if you want that guy. And so how do I tie all of this back into each other? Remember this video here? Remember when she said, what did Drew want? And Drew said, I want a family. He said, I want a family. He didn't say, I want to get a bunch of chicks. He didn't say, I want to run through a bunch of women. I want to be a playboy. He said, I want a family. And she said, okay, you know what? I'll have a family with you. And she locked him down just like that. Now, the question becomes, how important is it to get what you want? What are you willing to give up? Because most of us understand that sacrifice is involved. Go to work, you're going to have to save money, you're going to have to do what it takes to make certain things happen. If you want that guy, you got to make the sacrifice. And if that sacrifice is giving him 2 or 3 things that cater to his needs, you're going to get a better chance of getting that guy. So how does this all matter? Because guys are going overseas to get women who don't see cooking as some sort of sentence. You look at these tweets. These tweets suggest that cooking is almost to suggest that it's something is almost to suggest that cooking is something that's beneath. I despise cooking. Despise cooking. If you're going to have a pro athlete husband, if she had the willing attitude of cooking 4 to 5 nights a week, she probably had that ring, but she didn't have it. And so, of course, most of us, we're not pro athletes. We're not trying to get, you're not making millions of dollars a year, but a little bit of catering to a regular guy will get a great outcome in terms of what he'll do for you. And what's interesting, when you saw this video here, I think it's really important to remember, when he made this video here, this was when she was having pregnancy complications, and her husband actually took games off to be with his wife during those complications. He actually, I'm not sure if he was paid or not, but I think he did take leave. He left his job to be with his wife and his family. It was that important to him. And so you get a guy that cares about your behind, that's the lengths to which he'll go for you. With that said, gentlemen, find a woman that is willing to at least cater to you a little bit. And if she's willing to cater to you a lot, you might have found something special. And if you find that in America, fine. If you find that overseas, fine. If she's willing to cater to you, she has a good relationship with her father, and she knows that she can translate that relationship with her father to a relationship with a man, and she sees that having a family and putting family first is more important than her whims and her immediate desires, and she'll look to her children as, my children's needs are going to matter more than my own, you might have found something special, gentlemen. And if you have to go overseas to find that, so be it. With that, guys, I want to say thank you guys for watching this video. Take the time to like and subscribe and comment if you like what you've heard, and if you have any opinions, drop them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.